yes, because I think I'm one of the most active people on social media networks. I think it's a great way to connect with your fans. It's a great way to keep people in touch. If you notice, I mean, I think there was a study done recently, and people are kind of gravitating away from emails and from websites and sticking to things like Twitter and Facebook. And so I think any entertainer who's trying to get a message across or a product across would be wise to, be available on one of those platforms or all of the platforms. Primarily, I mean, I'm on MySpace, but it's not as as active as I'm not as active on there as I am on Facebook and Twitter. So Facebook and Twitter is pretty much my two main social media networks. Twitter especially because I like Twitter. I'm a Twit addict. I can't, I can't live without this thing, and they don't pay me no money, but I just, I love it. I'm a Crackberry addict officially, yes. So. I mean, for me, it's just been a great way, like I said, to connect with my fans. And I think, especially now in today's world, people tend to want to feel like they're part of something, or that they're part of what you're doing, and that they're more involved than just, your typical, whatever you choose to put on your profile or on your website. So that's a good way, the negative side of it is then, like, for instance, myself, I can't reply everybody, and so people inevitably get upset. But on the positive side, you'd be surprised at how happy it makes someone to just hear from their favorite artist or one of the artists that they like. So it's a good way to kind of be in touch with your fans and let them know what's going on with you, and you can update that like as you go every day. So it's a perfect way to stay in touch. Oh, okay. So there was a while ago, I woke up one day and I saw that an old high school friend of mine had tagged some pictures from when I was in like primary school and secondary school. And I was around the time I was still going through my growth spurt. So one time I was too short with a big head. The other time my limbs were too long or whatever. And so I had seen one or two pictures coming up, surfacing, and people were like, shit, that Banky be this or whatever. So I actually did the opposite thing, and I went and collected the most embarrassing pictures of myself that I could find and created an album. And was like, okay, this is me growing up. So that, if you can't laugh at yourself, really, so I did it, and then we all had a good laugh about it, and my fans kind of liked that I did that. So it ended up not being so embarrassing. Let's see, I'm still promoting my latest album called The W Experience. The first two singles and videos were Strong Thing and Lagos Party, and so now we're in the process of shooting a couple more videos. I'm currently on tour in and outside of Nigeria. I have a couple of new artists on my record label, Empire Mates Entertainment, and their names are WizKid and Scales, and they're very, very talented, so I'm starting to executive produce their albums. Let's see, we got a company mixtape coming out. We're getting involved in some TV content in Africa. We're doing some licensing situations. I have a charity now called the I Am Capable Scholarship Fund, where I'm paying for a couple of kids to go to private university in Nigeria, and that's a program that we're looking to expand in the next year. So that, hopefully team up with some corporate companies. We can do more things if we join hands together. So I'm very busy. Nigeria, I'm involved in Enough is Enough Nigeria, the Cool to Vote platform, because I think it's very important that young people, especially Nigeria is at a point where we really need change, and the only way this change is going to come about is if people get interested and involved and take back the power that has been taken from us by exercising our right to register, to vote, and to protect our vote and vote for the right people. So that's something that I'm very, very hands-on involved in. Okay. Well, I mean, I think, first of all, I don't discredit living outside of Nigeria at all. Now, in my case, in my instance, moving back to Nigeria was the best decision I'd made thus far in my career, and it's done wonders for me. So there are a lot of opportunities in Nigeria. At the same time, for some people, those opportunities lie outside of the country. I think what's important is playing the cards you're dealt, whether it's in Nigeria or outside of Nigeria, doing whatever it is you need to do to be successful. And then when you reach that point of success, making sure that it affects Nigeria in some way in a positive light. So whether, your opportunity and your dreams are going to be realized in Nigeria or outside, it doesn't really matter as long as you make it count and you make it count for Nigeria. So.